What is up, guys? Zach Ian here, and welcome to day 28 of our 30-day wholesaling challenge. And today we're going to talk about wholesaling houses part-time. That's right, you probably don't have the time to commit to 30, 40, 50, 60 hours a week in wholesaling real estate. You're joining this challenge because you're trying to escape the matrix. You're trying to get out of the job you got. You're trying to get some freedom in your life. You're trying to make that change, but it's hard. You might have kids, you might be married. It's a little more tougher to do this. And so what we're going to talk about today is how to become more efficient with your time on wholesaling on a part-time basis. I actually started wholesaling part-time. Rick started wholesaling part-time. This is a process of just slowly making your first check, your second check, getting some deals, and then we can replace that, getting more money wholesaling than our job, and then boom, we can go out here and replace our income and start wholesaling full-time. Now, there's two types, in my opinion, of part-time wholesalers. Number one, there's wholesaler A. Then there's wholesaler B. Let's talk about these two types of wholesalers. Wholesaler A works full-time. They might have a full-time 9-to-5 job. They might work in an oil rig, whatever they're doing. They're working full-time. They have no money. It's the reason they're trying to get into wholesaling, right? I see a lot of wholesalers like, Zach, I work full-time. I have no money. This is why I'm getting this business. This is why I'm trying to make a change in my life. I get it. These gurus want you to spend $40,000 and commit 40 hours a week on your marketing when you got no money and you got no time. You're stuck. This is why we're making the challenge. This is why we have freewholesaling.com. You probably have kids and definitely a lot of bills. And you're wondering how I get started in this business. You're looking to escape that matrix, that job you're stuck doing. It's through wholesaling. And again, you are a tough person. You're a tough cookie. You're someone willing to grind it out. This is who you are. Now, we also have wholesaler B, who's also another part-time wholesaler. This is somebody who works full-time. Again, they have a little more extra money. Maybe they're doing pretty well, less bills, less expenses. They don't want to kill themselves to get their first wholesaling deal. And what I mean by this is they're not going to go out here and door knock. They're not going to sit around and cold call 15 hours a day, right? They're looking to get a deal, but they're not trying to kill themselves with this, right? I see a lot of wholesalers like this that are 60, 70 years old. They're not looking to grind it out, but they're still looking to make a change or make some extra money. Now, if you're wholesaler A and you have no money, what you should be doing is cold calling government lists. We already have this whole video on government lists. You already know what to do here, right? Your code violations, your probates, your water shutoffs, your arrest records, your tax liens, delinquencies. We can go on and on all day. But we're going to go after government lists. On top of this too, you're grinding. We got to get out of this matrix, right? We're going to drive for dollars, reverse drive for dollars, whatever we can to start getting leads and consistently, right? We are also following day 14 here. We're sending out text. We are looking to send hopefully 5, 6, 7, 8, hopefully 10,000 texts out this month, getting deals, getting consistent leads, and making a change in your life. On top of this too, we're reaching out to the wholesalers. We got to start JVing. We're going to be using leverage lists like I've talked about before and actually start networking with other wholesalers and getting deals done. And that's how we're going to get wholesaling deals done if you're wholesaler A. Now, if you're wholesaler B, you got some money. You're willing to kind of do a little more work here, and I get it. You can do some more large scale drawing for dollars. Maybe you can start investing in software that makes your life a little easier. Especially for drawing for dollars, you're probably going to use listaria.com or probably my favorite dmzac.com for reverse drawing for dollars, and do it kind of on a larger scale and make your life a little easier here, right? We don't have to go into cyber background checks or truepeoplesearch.com to get all the information, right? We got the free unlimited skip tracing. We don't have to go in their websites. Our life's a lot easier. We can actually start investing in a dialer so we're not sitting around calling 10 hours a day, right? We can call 3 hours a day and have the same effect. Again, we can do some more large-scale skip tracing with dmzac.com. Again, just making your life a little easier. Now, this isn't a full-blown hall pass to go do zero work, but you still got to go out here and grind, just with a little easier, right? We got tools. We got shovels for digging, not with our hands. We can start investing in some probate mailers that we teach at freewholesaling.com how to do, just making our life a little easier with some inbound leads. And again, you're still texting. You're not exempt from this because you have some money, right? Everyone should be SMS text blasting. You can even invest in some softwares like smsac.com, but probably starting out, you probably shouldn't do something like that, but it is an option we do have. And really important, and this is super duper important for anyone, but no, you're not going to be hiring VAs. And I think this is the biggest mistake I see a lot of new part-time wholesalers say, and I see a lot of gurus talk about this, but No, this is not the time to be investing in a bunch of VAs for cold calling. Heck, you don't know how to manage VAs. You're just getting started on your wholesaling journey. You don't know if it's a good VA or a bad VA. And you can't have the right training processes because you don't know how to become an elite cold caller. You're just getting started in this business. See, a lot of people make this mistake. I'm not saying you're the exception to the rule, but do not be hiring VAs. Now, this is really important, but the person who consistently makes the calls the most wins. Simple as that. If you can make the calls, you win this business. The wholesaler that does more marketing always ends up getting more leads. And then the more leads you get equals the more offers you make. And the more offers you can make to sellers with the appointments means you can sell them to more buyers. And when you sell them to more buyers, you get more deals done, which is more money you're making here. And so the point here is the more marketing we do, the more money we make. It's a crazy correlation. Whenever I see any part-time wholesaler increase their marketing, the amount of deals that they do, that's terrible, but it increases. They make more money. It always goes up. And I never find wholesalers that are doing, let's say we got a little chart here, that do this level of marketing. And then the next month they do this level of marketing, and then they do this level of marketing, and then this level of marketing, and this level of marketing. They always tend to make less money. They don't make more money in wholesaling because your marketing is going to always be correlated to the amount of deals you do. But here's the secret that no one wants to tell you. Marketing is not equal. And what I mean by this is one driving for dollars cold call is not equal to one, let's say we're going to call a vacant house. They are not equal at all. What I found is one vacant cold call on a vacant property is equal to about 5. That's right, and excuse my bad handwriting, but think about this for a second. This is what I'm telling you. We got to be more efficient. Just to do one drawing for dollars cold call, that is equal to doing 5 vacant cold calls. That means if I do 1 hour of cold calling a drawing for dollars list, that's the same if I spend 5 hours cold calling vacant properties, which shows you, yes, marketing is not like this curve where the more hours I put in, the more money I make. I know I made it seem like that. It's time and quality put in your marketing right. So the secret here is that little chart I showed you here. The correlation of anything going up, it's not just time. It's time multiplied by quality. It's not just time you put in your marketing or the amount of volume you're doing, right? It's how much time you're putting in, how much volume. I'll also put volume on this too. It could also, but it's also quality. So if you have terrible data, terrible skip tracing, it's not going to do well for you. But if you have a lot of volume, you can make up bad quality. If you have lack of volume, you can do higher quality. This is the secret to marketing. You got to get the best of both worlds, as Hannah Montana says. And the point here is, if you're wholesaling, and let's say we have our competition, let's call him Jeff, and Jeff is putting 40 hours a week into wholesaling, and he's only cold calling vacants. Well, Zach, if he's putting 10 hours a week into wholesaling and he's doing it part-time, and he's cold calling drawing for dollars, Zach is going to end up making more money. Because I'm doing something that's 5, because remember, like I said before, drawing for dollars is 5 times more efficient than cold calling vacant properties. This is why I talk about drawing for dollars all the time, which means the guy working 10 hours a week can beat the guy working 40 hours a week. Crazy concept. This is why wholesaling part-time is not a disadvantage. It's not something that is putting you behind the 8 ball. We just got to use the opportunity and seize it to work smarter, not harder. Now, again, like quality, do not waste your time on bad lists. Don't go to a website that offers high equity leads or vacants for free. It's really bad quality. And anyone that has free, basically like paid software type data, They're skipping on the data, they're giving it to you for free because it's low quality, and they're trying to get money on skip tracing or something like that. It's not good. If they're trying to make the money off the skip tracing, you know skip tracing is probably not terrible, but the quality is bad. So they're skimping on the quality, which is skimping on your success. Kind of talked about time and volume times quality. It's just not good at all. Do not skimp on quality here. Just if you don't have the money for PropStream or DMZack.com, just do the drawing for dollars. It costs no money at all. You're gonna do better than any paid free software. Do not go to Fiverr for your lists. Do not do a general high equity list, especially starting out. If we're a part-time wholesaling, we're not gonna go after just like a regular vacant list or something, right? We gotta kind of go more niche. Don't do Facebook, PPC, PPL type leads. That is not the move here, guys. And really what you gotta do is just figure out what's working and doing more of that. So let's kind of talk about what the action plan for you right now for part-time wholesaling. So I'll say the average part-time wholesaler can probably commit at least 10 hours a week in this business, and that's where you're at, right? I would say a good action plan for you is maybe on Saturday and Sunday, we're gonna put about 6 hours. So 3 hours a day, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. of just drawing for dollars and reverse drawing for dollars. And then on Monday, we're gonna cold call for a couple hours, and then we're gonna spend about 2 hours on following up with the sellers, talking to sellers, and closing deals. That's a good about 10 hours you can commit. So 6 hours on the marketing side, 2 hours on the cold calling side, and then another couple hours talking to sellers. That's 6 plus 2 plus 2. That's 10. That's perfect. Now, if we have a little more time, let's say we have 20 hours, we're just gonna double it, right? So we're gonna do more days, maybe we're gonna do 6 hours a day, not 3. We're gonna spend an extra day cold calling, and we're gonna do 4 hours of seller appointment and follow-ups. So when we're wholesaling part-time, there are some special rules that you need to consider here. Number one, like anything, you've heard me say this a lot, and I repeat myself a lot, I feel like, but make a plan and stick to it. This process of wholesaling part-time is not gonna be easy, because I think you're being a baby or anything, but this is a tough business. This is a tough process. This is not an easy thing you're doing. Get over it. The excuses, the complaining is going to get you nowhere. Consistency is gonna rule here, and so do the work every single day. Even if you don't feel like it, just do it. I promise you it's gonna get closer to your goal, and this is why we're in the challenge here. I mean, we're in day 28 here. We're getting through it. Next here, we're gonna go to where the gold is. And what I mean by this is, in wholesaling, we're gonna have a lot of different type of lists, right? And so maybe we're doing our marketing, we're doing vacants, we're doing pre-foreclosures, we're doing driving for dollars, reverse driving for dollars, water shutoffs, and maybe the arrest record, right? And maybe we decide to commit 2 hours a week onto each one of these, right? And maybe after a month, we figure out we get 3 leads from vacants, we get 0 leads from pre-foreclosures, we get 10 leads from drawing for dollars, 2 leads from reverse drawing for dollars, we get 4 from water shutoffs, and we get 0 from arrest records, right? What can you figure out from this little data set here, right? Because I'm a big data nerd, right? This means off the bat, right, arrest records just aren't working. Let's just kind of cut that out. Vacants, I mean, we're doing a lot of work here, and that's not working too well. And really what we're figuring out here is drawing for dollars is working really well for us. What our shutoffs are doing really well. And reverse drawing for dollars is just kind of meh, right? It's okay. What I'm going to do is just kind of take driving for dollars out here and what our shutoffs and kind of mix them together here. And just keep that, because we're looking for best bang for our buck, especially 2 hours a week in each one. We're figuring out we're getting the best results from these 2 lists. Let's go after it and let's go all in on those. And you're gonna find you're even gonna be more effective with your time here. This also works for areas and zip codes, but again, we're asking our buyers where they wanna buy, so it's pretty simple. But this is where the gold is at for us. And last and probably not least, talk to sellers. If you're starting this business, I know you're nervous. I know you're probably a little anxious to start talking to motivated sellers, but you're gonna have to do it. I see a lot of people who are super nervous to talk to sellers. They're super nervous to get started. You have to stop avoiding it. Start the calling, start the drawing for dollars, start talking to pre-foreclosures, start dealing with that. And yeah, maybe you're gonna get a little nervous talking to them, but that's okay. This business is something like riding a bike. You're really nervous doing it until you do it a couple times and maybe you skid your knee. But after you skid your knee, you get better, you get your balance, and boom, you're not too nervous anymore talking to sellers. I see a lot of people, this is stopping them from success, and it drives me crazy. Stop overthinking it, stop overcomplicating this, and stop avoiding it. Go take your action and stop avoiding talking to sellers. That's the name of the game in this business. So guys, that is it for day 28 of the 30-day wholesaling challenge, wholesaling part-time. If you're a part-time wholesaler, let me know in the comments. And make sure you, like always, go to freewholesaling.com, my free real estate wholesaling course. Keep it up with the challenge and make sure you smash that like button, subscribe. This is Zach signing out. I'll see you tomorrow for day 29 of the 30-day wholesaling challenge.